closer to the blue than the rest of them. And TJB lose half of their team. Now, Enigma Galaxy, though, have an approach to make. Do they choose to go towards RCB, or are they going to slam straight into 4MV? The team currently ahead of them on the southwest side. 4MV have been quiet so far this match. No elims, but they have a really strong compound on the southwest side, Blank. It's going to be so hard to move past it for teams like TJB, for Enigma Galaxy, for what's left of Alpha 7, and for DRX.
Yeah, for 4MV, it's a good spot. It's unfortunately somewhat open, but I don't really think that 4MV minds too much about that. They quite like the idea of open terrain, open shots over towards a lot of these teams on the south, and they'll be feeling good after the last game. Sara opened things up quite nicely over towards Na'Vi, though. And again, we were talking earlier that those teams on the north need some breathing room. And I would say that both Influence Rage Falcons would be quite happy if RCB could just sweep aside Na'Vi, allowing them to spread a little bit more room over towards that western side. But for Team Spirit, though, John, this is a great opportunity for them. Circle moving a little bit further over towards the east indicates they might have a bit more time in the sun here.
Alpha 7 going down, losing their last player. Enigma Galaxy remove the Thorn from their side, and their approach is made 2% easier towards 4MV because it is just such a tough run-up, but they're going to go for it. Mounting that offensive, Snowick's leading the charge, a little bit closer now. They stop at the road, so they are regrouping here, just making that first maneuver. Nice and early. DRX actually have sent ahead of this rotate, Blank, which means that Enigma Galaxy are now fairly uncontested on this approach, but Redox is still wary of TJB to their north side. You could see that those angles could maybe be a little bit troublesome, but Redox has it on lock.
For Enigma Galaxy, life's hard right now. It's not easy to make their way through. Narvalo drives through a hail of bullets. They send his way, sparking off the side of the vehicle. Will survive for the time being. RCB now looking to push a little bit further over towards that western side, clear out some of these teams potentially. Enigma Galaxy, they get involved, but I think Tong Jiabao are likely the next victims on the list. DRX have already found a strong spot to play down towards the south side. Not likely to get cleaned up until later. Refus, though, will find one over towards Enigma Galaxy, and they're still going strong here, finding one more after another. 2 elims found now for 4MV, and they were barely able to get close.
Narvalo managed to get ahead of it, but he's the last player now to stand for Enigma Galaxy, and RCB have him on lockdown. Should be fairly difficult to make it too much further. Sliver of HP, and that one snatched away fairly quickly. RCB able to pick up the point. Enigma Galaxy are out. So, a clear run towards the top for Team Spirit on this match, Blank. They need to try and put some points up here to get back in that contest, closer towards the 43-point mark that Incilio have, and even closer towards the 53 points now that 4MV have. And if 4MV can get over this next ridgeline, it's going to be a hell of a chase.
Yeah, honestly, I think 4MV could make their way down towards DRX. They know that rotational path came through. It's a question of what the wildcard team and TJB want to do next, though, because if TJB would like to battering ram their way down towards the south side, there's not much 4MV can do about it. They'll be distracted with it for a little while. I imagine they'll conclude that fight, but that might delay them too much. So it sort of does depend on how crazy the TJB want to get.
Beast looking to try and hold out for Falcons, but top taken down low means his teammate's going to be denied.
He's just like, what just happened?
Like, what? Guys, come on. That was a nade. What you doing? D plus Kia, though, they've been sweeping pretty effectively. 7 elims so far, and now they're turning their attention to Influence Rage, and I'm pretty sure that they wish that didn't happen. What a spray down, what a roll around. Fabian does go down again, but he's got 3 elims, he's doing the work. East now the last to stand, but D plus Kia handling the fight on multiple fronts. Influence Rage fall, Fabian is flushed, Osal is knocked, and maybe Na'Vi is a little bit too much for them to bear, but 9 elims already blank for D plus Kia.
Yeah, gorgeous fight there for D+. I don't think you could have asked for much better there because both fights concluded so quickly that now you can deal with that western push really easily. For Na'Vi, in their head, it's like there's at least 3 teams over there. So if a fight's taking place, like, we'll have the drop on them, we'll get third party. But in this case, it's a full 1v1. More damage coming through down towards that south side. It's the Thunder Talks. Tong Jiabao picks up 1 on the back line of Na'Vi. Surprisingly, Triple S doing a lot of damage. 2 players down. Now D+ might want to capitalize off the back of this. That is the case. It was either Tong Jiabao went down and harassed RCB, or they head up towards Na'Vi, but potentially it's both. It's actually just both.
Why not both? Nade over the top, coming on through. Oh, a big pickup, a double, and an immediate burst right over the top of the Mosel. Doesn't have time to get these players back up. The zone's pushing in. You can't res out here. 2 points immediately snapped back by Na'Vi. And they are able to clock on to D+'s gain. 6 looking to put the final nade over. Osal now running for the hills, trying to spray down Na'Vi, keep them back to the blue.
Na'Vi putting the pins in the board, sinking their battleships in the process. Very, very well done. Those nades were insanely placed. Apex with another down towards Thunderdogs. Not likely they were getting across that road in the first place. It's a very, very difficult position to play for Thunderdogs, and 4MV just have this angle. DRX did go down earlier. Another pick off there for 4MV, and it will be Thunderdogs now out. But it is looking like 4MV are on for another good game here, John.
They've got 5 elims, they've got some momentum, 2-2 split on the southwest side of the Ridgeland, but Team Spirit have Central. They're quiet, but they haven't been in any fights so far. I question how much ammo they're going to have in reserve, but we know that they can ration it. They know they're good in that sort of scenario. They got the maths to back it up.
They'll probably have quite a lot from that position, quite honestly, because the position they were in before, they had to expend a lot of ammo to maintain position. Here, they really haven't had to do any of that. They've been sat in a compound, they've not had to shoot anyone. Likely they're waiting for this circle to move off towards the eastern side, and it doesn't. It breaks even on the ridge side, which gives a little bit more time to 4MV and RCB. That is disastrous, though, for Team Spirit. They ideally need that to head over towards the eastern side, so they can take shots on these teams pushing off from that northern edge. Now it gives time for them to figure out their next plan, figure out what strategy they want to go with.
Team Spirit do have the ability to stay in the compound for a little bit longer, because the fight on the high ground has to conclude. With Na'Vi going down, we now have 4 teams remaining, but RCB and 4MV are going to have to scrap this one out. 4MV regroup now, they're pushing in as 4. They're trying to move over to the high ground that RCB have been holding. They want to sweep this out. If they can get it cleanly, they have the high ground. They have that oversight on towards Team Spirit and can control their movements a little bit better. Loxy nade over the top, though, splits the difference as a split wide, left and right from 4MV, dodges the damage. Another one cooking, but Reefus and Doc have one as well. A nade over towards Loxy finds the mark. Doc now with a second. The shotgun from Reefus, though, barking loudly. And finds the bite down onto RCB. There's the flush and the step towards the backline. RCB cannot withstand.
That is incredible from Reefus. I mean, he's hitting some good shots that last game, but now he's out here to play. RCB about to be deletus in this process, as they push further and further towards the north, giving RCB no chance to counter. But a great play from Team Spirit, rocking up behind them on that south side. This is a really, really good rotate. This is a great split out coming through from Team Spirit. They need RCB to live for a little while longer. They can start to take shots across.
It's Super Sub-Sara to stay alive for a little bit for RCB further off in the distance on the north side, and Team Spirit will put the pressure on. Osal for D+ Kia, by the way, this entire time is surviving out in the open. Someone's going down. I think it's a top 3 for D+ Kia, but Team Spirit bombardment now from the backlines. They're chasing down 4MV on the tables and on the match. Reefus, low, Doc blasted away as effect, and Nomi handle that flank. Kitsune and Matic make their approach. The spray down is good. Baron under pressure now with an nade cooking, needs to find the mark, but Team Spirit looking healthy. What can Baron do here? Kitsune up for the challenge. The rest of his team's there, 1-for-1 on the trade, and 4MV now have only Apex to rely on.
Apex bound the vehicle, has to make a mad dash up towards the blue. Damage comes through thick and fast, and Team Spirit gets the full squad wipe. 8 eliminations, not a bad result there for 4MV, but what a wonderful decision coming through from Team Spirit to make that wrap round down towards the south. Coming off the back of a game where things did not look bright for them, to make a courageous decision like that in this moment, at this kind of tournament, that is what makes this team so good.
What a special rotation there. I'm sure the desk is going to have plenty to break down around that one, but now it's just 2 solos out in the open. D+ Kia, right? With Osal, they got so many elims earlier on, they're now in a top 3. This is a brilliant comeback game for them. They can raise their morale, raise some momentum off of this. Sara keeping RCB in as well. Not in the next circle, unfortunately. Osal, I think, is a little bit closer, but Team Spirit should, by rights, have this on lock.
Second chicken dinner for the day would be fantastic. Honestly, the team spirit, I think they'd be really pleased with themselves off the back of that one, considering that, last game there was a big opportunity for them to get another chicken dinner there. And this might have been the triple-triple. Osal looks for RCB. Sarah will take him down and immediately gets clapped back onto. But one elimination denied for Team Spirit. They're not incredibly pleased with that one. It's not a massive chicken dinner, but nonetheless, it's still 16 points, dude. That's fantastic.
Excellent result for Team Spirit. Same story
There we
for
go.
D+ Kia getting